And pedals and stuff. What are you using pedal wise? I mean, you said earlier on that obviously you're using a lot of pedals to create the sound through a fairly clean amp.
Well, I don't use a lot of effects at all, really. My pedal board basically has 3 overdrive pedals going up in kind of gain amounts in stages, so I can combine them to get a heavier sound if I need to. But yeah, the first one is just an Ibanez Tube Screamer. My favorite one, I have a few, but my favorite one is the old TS10.
Yeah,
the 80s one. I love that pedal.
Hmm.
And then I use a Nemphesis White Scream pedal,
Right.
which is an Italian company. Really great pedals. If you don't know Nemphesis, you should definitely check them out.
Is that pretty much your sort of your sound then?
Well, my main lead sound is a Friedman pedal. Friedman, I just fairly recently switched to the Dirty Shirley pedal, and I love it. It's really sweet, really smooth sounding. I did use the Friedman, the other one, BEOD.
Yes.
I just found it's great sounding pedal. Everyone commented saying it sounded great, but to me it just felt a bit harsh. And I really like a nice mid-range, and there was no mid control on there, so I was kind of stuck with however it was preset. So the Dirty Shirley is lower gain, but with a middle control, so it really works. I can EQ it if I need to, but usually I just plug it in and it sounds great from how it was set the night before, you know.
yeah, absolutely.
They sent me this.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's one of their Anchor Drive pedals that's with custom.
So that's come from Hello Sailor Effects.
Yeah. Is it Joe, the guy?
Yes.
Yeah, he just messaged me on Twitter and said, "I'd love to make you a pedal." So I said, "Well, I'd love to have a pedal." Yeah. And he's great, awesome pedal actually.
Yeah, he's we've got him.
You should get a screenshot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll take a photo and I'll send that. Yeah, he's in the Navy, hence the name Hello Sailor Effects.
Yeah, and first I wasn't sure about the name. I'm like, that's not really rock and roll, you know.
Yeah, well, he's in the Navy. That's where it came, because that's one of the questions I asked in the features. So we're doing like written features,
right?
Just to try and connect the because there's some great smaller independent builders out there like Joe Hello Sailor. On Thursday, I'm interviewing a guy called Pat Brown of Collector Effectors. He started up last year in lockdown, and he is building some phenomenal stuff.
Right.
And he's getting a bit of a waiting list now because he's making. I'll send you a link.
Cool.
But we're just trying to really connect those builders to members, and and because there are forums out there, but we're trying to do something different to a forum and really just create a community.
It's great. I love what you're doing. It's great. Yeah. We must have been friends on Facebook for a while, and I had no idea that you didn't think anything like this, to be honest, until you sent me the link to the to your other page. I didn't know I was there, to be honest. So. Yeah,
well, when I saw your images of the orange hand, I was like, look at that. Because I thought,
I have to comment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought that's a pretty impressive stack. I'm really proud of that.
It's a great amp. I mean, your pedalboard looks tidy as well.
Yeah, that was about 2 years ago. I started building that,
right?
And it kind of snowballed, because I thought, I'm just going to I've just got to spend the money, because I was like, it's going to cost me this, it's going to cost me that. I thought, you'll be fine, So I just spent the money, and it's. But now I've got other stuff from other builders, so. I've got, I'll send you a few links to some of the guys that are in the group you might be interested in checking out. So that's a guy called Spy Sound.
All right.
Mark Sverkov in Bulgaria.
What's in it? Sly Sound, did you say?
Spy Sound.
Spy Sound.
Spy Sound. You can see there we go.
Yeah.
All hand-built stuff. But he makes some really interesting steampunk design, really unique pedals, beautiful things. And that's a Rangemaster with a treble boost.
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful work. That's a guy in Rochdale, I think he is. He's just started up. That's an optical trem. You know, these guys are making, and a guy called, oh God, what's his name? I forget. But that company called Life's Unfair, making fuzz stuff. And there's another guy. It becomes an absolute minefield. I've just had that one made for me by a guy in the States called Ryan Entrican Pedals.
Nice.
And these guys, I mean, look, the artwork is phenomenal.
It is, yeah, it really is.
You know,
I'm so far out of the loop with it because I had the guitar store for years, and I was so much of a gearhead.
Yeah.
And the last kind of 4 or 5 years, I just haven't changed anything. I haven't bought a pedal. I haven't even plugged into a pedal for the entire lockdown. My pedal board's in Germany, to be honest with you. It's not even here. With my main guitar. Well, I have my Les Paul here, but my Strat and the Tokai Les Paul that I use a lot, it's all stored away with the orange stuff in Germany.
Right.
I've got mainly guitars here and a few pedals. My setup is just bizarre. I'm playing a 1959 Junior into a 2019 Kemper with a Rangemaster clone.
That's a good mix. Yeah. A generational mix. You know, but those analog things, you know, stuff like that is hand built. It sound when you plug it into valves and it just works. I've not played it. I've not played a Kemper yet, so I've got to play a Kemper and give it a whirl.
It's a great one. But they're great if you've got the monitors and everything to, just a Kemper on its own. I mean, the one I've got is powered, so I've got it in this room. I have it permanently connected to my interface and also to a cabinet. Yeah. So when if I really want to record a solo that sounds live, I'll connect the cabinet as well and blend that in. But usually I don't bother with the cabinet at all, to be honest. But I can't imagine ever using it live, I don't think. But
actually, just think that those 2 amps that you're running, so you've got 2 head units.
Yeah.
Is one wet and one dry, or no? So both,
to be perfectly honest,
straight into both amps.
Usually one of them switched off for me. Andy always uses both.
Right.
I don't feel it. I think with a 100-watt head as loud as they are, I'd be compromising the sound by using both because I wouldn't be able to turn them up enough.
Right.
So I use the old one and push it as much as I can, which means, of course, I'm only running 2 cabs if I'm using one head most of the time. So I'll have them diagonally if that's what which is the usual setup for me. And in America, I just use a 1x12 orange cab.
Yeah.
And a Hot Rod DeVille. I love those amps.
Yeah. Yeah. Fancy. You get those those Fender amps wound up, and it's Stevie and Stevie Ray Vaughan and that sort of tone, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the pedal boards that we both Andy and myself use, we put them together so that we could turn up at a festival and play through whatever we're given and get a sound. That's, that when we're on tour and we've got our own amps, that's even better. But really, we can turn up and play through anything that we're given with the pedal boards that we normally use, which is what you need, really.
Yeah. And what's Andy's rig like? Does he use many effects or?
Different pedals to mine, but very similar. He uses an Analog Man King of Tone as his main drive.
Yeah.
A lot of Analog Man pedals. What else does he use? I can't even think. I actually had to think about what I use because it's been so long since I saw the board. I was like looking at pictures of my own pedals to see what I've got. He uses a Tremolo pedal. I don't know what it is. But mainly the King of Tone and...
well, I'm on the waiting list for a King of Tone. Hopefully, I think I've been waiting about 2 years now.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal waiting list for that pedal.
Yeah, I remember being on the list for so long that I took myself off it. But when we were in... because Analog Mike is a good friend of Andy's, and they've really... they live pretty close together. So while we were over there one time, we went and visited he took me to visit the factory. We played some cool guitars and a lot of pedals. And then we went, actually, he invited us to a party. So we went to this party at a house in the evening, drank beer, and then we got up and played with his Analog Mike's band, which was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got some video somewhere.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That must have been an awesome experience.
Yeah, man, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I remember him saying at the time there was still a big waiting list for the King of Tone pedals.
Yeah.
And he had the boxes there and the cases, but I didn't see many pedals while I was there, to be fair.